This morning, I want to take my time to debunk calmly some of the lies that the proponents of this political Sharia are trying to push out to people. Starting with this, first of all, Sharia is only meant for Muslims, right? As they said. Sharia is meant for only Muslims. But in practicality, is that what we're seeing in Nigeria? In practicality, that is not what we're seeing in Nigeria. Okay, starting with banning of alcohol. Hisba at a point in time destroying a high volume of alcohol in Kano. Going by this now, you'll quite agree with me that these were not products that belongs to the Muslims. These were products that were imported into the state by individuals, possibly Christians or other believers, that has the right, that has the legitimate right in the spirit of one Nigeria to reside in any state, to do legitimate business of their choice. Talking about this now, does the Constitution actually criminalize individuals involved in such trades? The answer is no, right? So, if so, then why were their products destroyed? Why were their products destroyed? A lot of other examples as well. We can equally talk of closure of sporting bait shops during fasting by the same Hisbah. So, does this also affect only the Muslims? Is it only the Muslims? Was it the Muslim shops that were affected? The answer is no. So if you look at it generally, the fact is, the same constitution, the same laws that you feel that gives you the power to actually do such an act, equally gives every citizen the power to reside in any country of his choice, just like I said, except there is no one Nigeria. Then we can now talk about this. I'm talking about such provisions as well. Are laws supposed not to be made with the concept of inclusivity in mind? Inclusivity in the sense that everybody's right must be regarded, considered, and respected. Talking about this now, we would have been a situation where, okay, in this particular side, this is where we reside, and of which that even still negates the concept of one Nigeria. We don't want alcohol in so part, but this part, you can actually have your own, this is your own, or whatever. I'm talking about number two now. The fact is, even in regards, the narrative is, even in regards, the Sharia is only meant to be administered on people that have subscribed to it. Talking about this now, how do we know people that have subscribed to it? Or should we just conclude basically that all Muslims have subscribed to this political Sharia? Right? The fact is, I don't think there's any basis of that. So, let's now go to the other one. Still in the concept of it doesn't apply to to non-Muslims. Over time, there has been a lot of actions that have resulted into non-Muslims becoming victims, and of which the concept, the inspirations are usually sourced from the Sharia. Talking about the incidents of unaliving on the basis of blasphemy. Deborah and a lot of other people were victims, and what informed the mindset of these individuals that meted out this criminal act? The fact is, it was still according to Sharia. According to same Sharia, the punishment for blasphemy, apostasy is equally death, right? So, if you are claiming that the law or Sharia empowers you to do that, right? The same constitution equally gives people the privilege of not considered a criminal until proven guilty by a court of competent jurisdiction, right? So going by court of competent jurisdiction, thus Sharia courts or those customary courts have the power, have the right constitutionally to pronounce a death sentence on an individual? The answer is no. But haven't done that now? Why have we seen situations where even non-Muslims have actually been convicted in these courts and they have been passed a death sentence? Right? And the next thing now, the argument will now be is that they have the right to appeal to a higher court, higher whatever. The fact is, why should you be appealing a court that lacks a ruling from a ruling that lacks merit in the spirit of because there's an appeal court or whatever? And let's even look at it now. Let's look at the stand of such provisions now as in regards the stand of the Constitution. That is to say, going by this now, the concept of blasphemy, the concept of apostasy, the Constitution doesn't view it as an offense that actually deserves capital punishment. And that is why there is nowhere, if not in Sharia now, that this can be found. So, going by this now, you get to see, just like I said, this thing actually negates the stand of the Constitution. But having listened to these clerics in Zamfara, I get to see that in their, when you watch the video, they were actually distancing themselves from the provision of blasphemy. That blasphemy is not sought from Sharia. The blasphemy law was made, there was a state law that was made in order for the state to maintain peace. In regards maintaining peace now, let's tell ourselves the truth sincerely between God and man. Let's tell ourselves the truth. The fact is, if the aim is to maintain peace, don't you think that imprisonment for maybe 2, 3 years or 4 years, as the case may be, is enough as a corrective measure in regards anybody that blasphemes? Why must it be death? And talking about apostasy as well, why should apostasy be viewed as an offense for God's sake in regards when the same Constitution equally gives people the right to freedom, religion, and thought and whatever? Because the fact is, the Constitution actually stated clearly that everybody has the right to freedom of religion. That is to say, but even in the Quran, it's written there's no compulsion in religion. So that is to say, whenever a person feels like, or he feels like not having religion at all, or changing from another religion to another, he has the absolute right, and the Constitution protects that. So why is it contrary when it comes to the implementation of Sharia? Right? So generally what I'm going to say is, seriously, there is no force in this thing. There is no force in this thing. If that is what a group of individuals want, the problem is they should keep it to themselves, personalize it, and let it be according to let people consent to it, and let it be applied all to them. Because the argument is it doesn't affect anybody, but the consequential effect here is what affects everybody. And in so doing, seriously, there's no way you can't even associate this to a situation of conquest or even cessation itself. That is just it. Because you can't make laws that is not all-encompassing, that doesn't respect the right and privileges of everybody, just like you are using and capitalizing on the law that empowers you to do such. So,
I hope you have listened to it all. Please like and share. and make your own comments. Thank you. Bye.